What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be playing around with a title called Songs of Conquest, which I think may actually be one of the prime Might and Magic contenders on Steam today. This game is absolutely phenomenal, and the more you play it, the more you'll find that there's like a whole bunch of little nooks and crannies to dig on into, a ton of strategies. The game comes packed with 4 factions. Each faction has like 12 different heroes. All of the heroes start out with different bonuses that kind of force you to play in a different way or focus on different units and make them stronger or weaker in different matchups against other people's heroes. So today we're going to dive on in, we're going to take a look at the title, and we're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or otherwise pass on. If after taking a look at this game you wanted to get it, it's in early access, but it's cruising towards the end of its early access. It's not one of those games that's like in perpetual early access. It's one of those games where the developers very, very frequently fire off like big updates and big overhauls and new things. It comes strapped with a campaign that's absolutely incredible. I really like the campaign as of right now. I've played through like, I think half the campaign for a couple of the factions, and there's a new faction that I haven't even got to like fiddle around with yet inside of that. So let's dive on in. You'll also find a link down there to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. But for now, what is going on? We are in the preliminary phase of our expansion at the moment. I am playing as the Barony of Loth. They're probably my favorite faction aesthetically, if I had to make a choice right there. Like, I think they're probably my favorite as far as aesthetic goes. They're a barony that has been thrown under by all the other factions. They're kind of the underdog in the storyline, and they're trying to rebuild. And in order to do that, they've turned to necromancy and the dark arts to reestablish themselves in the great order of the realm. There are other factions you can play as well. You've got Stoutheart, which is the fairies and the humans. You've got Berea, which are kind of like northern African, like a raider faction with lots of muskets and trinkets and lots of like gadgets and technology and things like that. And then you've also got the frog people, which they're a lot of fun as well. I think as of right now, I've played through a lot of the campaign for Stoutheart. I've played through a lot of the campaign for the frogmen, just because like I'm an old school EverQuest player. If I see frogmen, I'm like, all right, dude. I can play as the frogmen. That sounds dope. Let's get a timber mill built out here just to get some wood ticking. We don't really have a whole lot of wood right now. In the early game, we just need to build up our forces. As of right now, my hero is firmly focused on melee offense, so we're probably going to favor that pretty heavily. We've got an option right here, just like in every Heroes of Might and Magic game. You're going to cruise around the map a little bit, and you're going to try to find things that give you an advantage in the early game. We're just picking up little scraps of gold. We're just picking up little wood piles and things of that nature in order to get our industry up and running so that we can upgrade our central township and make it stronger. We just got 5 wood right there, which would be a really good idea. Let's take the Grim Coast excavation and we'll take that up to the next size, because every city has a limited number of building slots, and those building slots are actually like a big part of your strategy for how you're planning on playing the game. We do have enough to make it so that we get more legionnaires. I'll probably upgrade that as well, just so we can get these dudes upgraded and make them into something a little bit better. The Oathbound are good for early game, but they're not going to hold into late game. They're going to be a little bit weak for that. Our cash economy is going really well right now. The game does have a wide spread of things that you can play around with. It's got everything from like principal ingredients, which is like wood and stone, and then it's got more advanced things like magic crystals, glimmerweave thread. You've also got amber piles. You're going to need those to upgrade your buildings and make things happen. For 3060, I can upgrade these Legionnaires right here, which I think is a really good idea, just to get up to tier 2 as fast as humanly possible. And then I'll probably also stack in like another 15 of the Oathbound, so that when we go into battle here in a second, we have a little bit more oomph to get us started. I don't know how tough these rats are going to be over here, but like, how tough can rats be? We can't identify how tough these threats are going to be until we're close up on them. This one is insignificant right here. We can take 1,800 bucks and we can fold them into our army if we want to. That's probably the ideal choice right now. I don't want any of their units, really. I don't have space for any of their units as of right now. So I'll go ahead and discard it. We'll take the money. We'll pack on a little bit of ancient amber right there. We've also got another rat over here. How tough is he? He's insignificant. Yeah, they would rather join forces than do battle with us. And I would like to reinforce my cultist stack right there. So I'll take that, and then we'll throw away the rest. No XP to be gained for the moment, which is kind of a bummer. Let's see how tough this little frogman is over here. He's also insignificant. He ran away and gave us XP. Every single unit in the game, every single leader in the game levels up as you play, and they get stronger, and they get access to more abilities. They get more attunements to the elements. The casting system in this game is kind of interesting, where there's different elements, and they build up on a battlefield the longer and longer the battle goes on. Mage and caster type guys are usually going to try to accelerate that process by taking a lot of abilities that allow them to snowball quicker. In the early game, we just got to level up off that tower right there, which is really nice. We can gain another 10 to melee offense, or we can get another troop stack, or we can get more movement. I'll probably take another troop stack. That sounds pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and bypass. Right now I'm playing on the skirmish mode. It's called Conquest, but effectively Conquest is a gameplay mode where it randomly generates a map for you. You don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what the challenges are going to look like. I'm going to show you a little bit of battle right here, too, so that you can see what that looks like. This battle is fair. Be careful. The AI in this game is actually pretty devious, and this is one of the few games that I could easily say the AI plays pretty smart, and they'll pull off some pretty incredible moves on you if you allow them to do so. With this guy right here, what is he good at? So he's got 65 health. We have 2 of them, so he's got like 120 health. He's got not the greatest initiative, but he does have really good melee offense, so I'm sort of tempted to move him forward. Okay, it didn't turn out quite the way that I wanted it to, but we'll go ahead and take this choke right here, and we'll give ourselves some defense. Some of your little guys have abilities that they can trigger in order to make themselves stronger. For the enclashioning, they're probably going to stack up on this guy, would be my guess. What does that do right there? It gives me spell damage power. Let's go melee and ranged offense on this guy with a magic spell real fast. You'll see an arrangement, so these pips right here, how much elemental magic you have, and the spells that you have unlocked, it'll just automatically tell you which ones you can cast right now. And then you have to, like, level up in order to get access to new spells and new utilities and stuff like that. Yeah, we're probably going to lose Big Dog right there. They surely like to focus fire the bigger units. Take as many enemies down with you as you possibly can. We'll wipe out his stack of wolves right there, and then we'll try to flank around with these undeads on this side. We'll flank in right here, and we'll go for the kill. We did actually secure the kill, which is nice. Unfortunately, like I said, they like to focus fire, and they like to fight hard for their victories. And so they're always going to clinch the kill when and if they can, because that permanently debilitates you and forces you to go back to town in order to reinforce. The AI Keepers, that's the name of the heroes, they're going to play the exact same way. They're always going to try to secure kills over everything else. Honestly, I think they try to secure kills over actually trying to win the battle a lot of the time. We can get a little Arcana magic right here. There are some pretty cool Arcana spells that we can play around with, hails of ice and lightning and things like that. Or we could get another troop stack, or we could just get a flat buff to every single melee unit inside of our army. I'll probably take the unit stack. And it looks like we actually have some zombies after the battle that want to join us. And so I will take the zombies. Now, the first thing that crosses everybody's mind when they see this game is like, holy shit, dude, this game is gorgeous. Yes, this game, hands down, has some of the best pixel art that I have ever seen in a video game. Period. Like, there is no room for debate right there. I have trouble thinking of any other game where the pixel art is so incredibly well developed. It's a really, really beautiful game. Everything is on point, from the lighting effects to the spell effects to the attack effects and the animations. Just one of those games that makes you say, wow, dude, it is incredible that someone could accomplish this. I don't know what I want to build over here. I'm not crazy interested in the rat warren, but I'll take it, I guess. I need to start getting some more units available for my purchase and also for my perusal here. I need to upgrade those guys, and then we're going to combine these stacks over here because these guys are way better than the tier 1 units. So we'll go ahead and put them in a little 31 stack right there. I don't have a ton of money left over. Your units generate turn by turn, and so we're going to have to wait for them to pool up anyways. Sometimes it is a better idea to have 2 stacks of 20 guys of the same type than it is to have a stack of 40 guys of the same type. Who is that? Barony of Loth troops. They might actually want to join us. They want to fight us. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. And they've got like wizards, which kind of worries me. They're all ranged. Let's leave that one alone until we're a little bit stronger. I'm all melee right now, and they're all ranged, and so I don't feel good about that clamor of battle right there. We're not really equipped to deal with ranged guys right now. So after allowing my troops to pool up a little bit along, like, the lower area, they have a couple knights. That's a little worrisome. Put the cultists in the back and put the zombies in the back, and then we'll manual battle this. I have found that the auto battle is decent. It's not bad. I think from the amount of time it takes, it actually simulates the fight itself. It tends to play a little bit more aggressive than I think most human beings will. But that having been said, I have not been disappointed with the outcomes of a lot of the auto battles so far. I've been totally okay with them. What does that do? It gives me spell damage power. Let's just bypass some turns. Your units have an elemental affinity. Every turn that goes by, they gift you their elemental affinity so that you can cast spells. Let's keep the zombies in the back. We can get 3 of their knights right now. Let's just go take them. Because those knights are the biggest issue right here. Like, those knights are actually the principal threat. Do I have anything I can cast here? I've got extra defense that I can throw out there. Let's defend him up a little bit and give him a little bit of spell casties. I'm glad that I did that. Let's move the zombies forward. Finish them off, and down they go. I love that little, like, Street Fighter. That little Street Fighter 2 finisher that you get whenever you finish off enemies, where it zooms in, it's like, and it just shows them absolutely getting clumped. It sucks when it's you. It's kind of like rubbing your nose in the fact that you lost. But when it's not you, oof, that's the good stuff right there. On this map, there are 3 other players. They are all run by the AI. I don't particularly know what difficulty I'm on. As you get near this, drop an offering by my roots and you will receive my knowledge. Okay, so it's just a bunch of XP. I'm okay with that. Let's get our 7th troop stack over here, even though I'm not quite equipped to pick up troop stacks just yet. We've got another fight with some rats on this side. I don't think we're going to struggle too much with these guys. We'll manual battle it just so you guys can get more feel for what the combat looks like. But in general, everybody in this game gets a move, then they get an attack. If they have an ability that's on the side of them, that usually ends their turn. So keep that in mind. How far can those guys move? All right, they're probably going to out-initiative me. So let's just start off. I'm not really casting any spells right now. I can sacrifice these guys' turn to effectively give myself, like, a ton of extra spell damage and make myself hit harder. I don't want to lose the zombies just yet, so I don't really want to move them up hella aggressively. There are enemies that also have, like, interesting abilities. So, for example, they will be able to, when you clash like this right here, they will be able to attack first, even though you're the one that initiated the attack. Some interesting little Magic the Gathering ideas that have been sprinkled on in there to make the game a lot more enjoyable and a little bit more dynamic. Some ranged units, they have to reload every other turn, but they tend to hit really, really hard every other turn, but they're terrible in melee. There's characters that can fire ranged every single turn if they want, but they tend to hit a little bit lighter, have a lot more movement. This kind of depends what you're going for. We've got a lumber camp now. That's good, because that means I can repurpose this guy right here and sell it. And then I can convert it into a croft to start earning some money, because our economy is a little bit weak right now. If you know anything about these sorts of games, you really should try to manage your economy. That tends to be the most important part. Altitude does matter in this game, so troops that are up on top of upraised areas, they get fat bonuses to their range damage, to their ranged actual range. They get defensive bonuses and things against things attacking them from lower ground. Just sort of depends what you want to go for. I'll probably move down here and just OTK that stack right there. I'm not particularly amped about pushing this stack. We got an okay roll right there, but it cost us our cultists. Let's move up and in over here. We'll bash them real fast. There are attacks of opportunity, so once 2 units are adjacent to each other, they're considered engaged. If you try to move outside of that, they get a free attack. Some units can ignore that, the ones that are kind of like heavily into skirmishing. Yeah, more zombies. Absolutely. Zombies are not great, but the benefit to zombies is they stack up to absolutely ridiculous numbers. So zombies are kind of like a swarm unit that'll get the enemy into trouble if they overinvest in coming after them. I need to manage my defenses, and we need to draft some troops out here. Let's get our rats, and let's get our legionnaires. We'll wait and see what the enemy does. But we did get some nice little piles of stone down here, and we did get a stone mine as well. How tough are these guys? That's a fair fight. I'm not interested in fair fights. I'm interested in blowouts. Like, absolute, like, auto-resolve. Don't even need to look at them. They run away before I even engage in combat. Those are the kind of fights that I'm into. It looks like we're actually in the corner, which means that the enemy's probably over there. I don't actually know the layout of this map because this map is random, so, like, it could be anything. Let's upgrade this into a better version of itself so that we get even more money each turn. This guy right here we can also afford to upgrade, which will upgrade our rats to plague rats and make them a little bit more interesting, or at least a little bit more useful to us. I do have a little bit of cash laying around. Let's grab the troop stacks from over there, and then we'll loot the garrison on this side in order to get just a few more guys. I'll probably leave them in there to snowball so that I can get another 40 stack. I also have troop upgrades available. I can get 36 of my rats upgraded into plague rats, which I think is a good idea. It's gonna raise up their offense a little bit. It doesn't really affect their HP or their damage too much, but it does make them hit harder, which makes them kind of like a nice advanced unit to run up on the enemy with and just like smack them real good. Let's peel out in this direction and just sort of see what happens over here. It looks like that's just a treasure pile down there, and while we are hurrying a little bit for money, I'm not that worried about it. So there's 1,200 right there. We also got a tribute to creation, so that means we get more creation stuff every single turn in the next battle. It's not going to last forever, but it is useful. Let's continue moving into enemy territory. It looks like they've got a pretty big spider troop right there, which is a little bit concerning. There are different victory criteria to this game as well that you can customize at the beginning of the game. You can have it be a search for like an artifact, and the guy that gets the artifact wins. You can have it be control like all the points of power on the map for a certain amount of turns. You can have it just slaughter everybody and murder them all. It's up to you how you want to play the game. A little bit more cash right there to develop out our economy. I'm glad to see it. The rats just ran away, which actually saves me a little bit of effort, too. We haven't made baseline contact with any enemies over here, but there is another city over here that we can capture. I will take the knowledge. And then I'll probably give my guys melee offense and melee resistance. That's not, like, we have a gimmick. Why not lean into it? You know what I mean? Like, we might as well. Some rats down there. Let me see how bad these wolves are for the quick cap. Looks like it's a simple fight, so we'll bang this out very, very rapidly. And then we'll capture our city. And once we have 2 cities, that should really get our economy cooking. And we can put there's not enough building spots in any city for you to get every single unit. You're gonna have to capture everything if you want it to work out. Let's go ahead and we'll just turtle right here. Move up to there. Have you come down to here. Keep the cultists in the back. Don't know what that guy does. Are those range guys? Looks like they're melee guys, but it looks like they buff everybody up. Okay. Man, straight into the back. Hurtful. My feewees. Get 'em, rats! We are rats. Skaven strats. Yeah, go ahead and see if you can knock off a couple of them. We killed 4. Alright, kill them off right there. He's going to close the gap. We're not going to get a return fire. Everybody gets a counterattack by default 1 time per turn. But if it's already been used up, we don't get our counterattack. So down goes that group right there. Pretty easy victory. Nothing to worry about on that front. I should be able to capture the city now, though. And I don't know how contested this city's going to be, but being able to early cap a new city is really good. All of your troops, once they've attacked or used an ability, Essence Shield will give everyone in your army 30 range resistance, 30 melee resistance, 30 spell resistance. That's pretty good. +1 damage works really well for the swarm units we're playing around with, too. Like, that would kind of force us... That would sort of move us towards zombies and rat strats where they stack really well, and so they get a lot of bonus damage. I'll probably go for that. And then... Oh, good. I got some zombies to replace the ones that I lost. Nice. Let's move up and capture the city. We're now making money, which is always nice. This is a large settlement. What can I build over here? Just about anything I want. In all fairness. Let's build another croft just to keep the economy cruising. Who's inside the cage over here? These cages give you free units. Can I upgrade this right now, too? Might as well, dude. We're sitting on top of the cash, and I need to get some some forward spin going as far as my gold generation goes. So I may actually just convert this place into sort of like a gold gas station. A frogling from Rana found chanting in the woods. Oathbound were sent to investigate and attacked and killed the frogling. There seemed to be an ancient command from Aurelia about the annihilation of all Rana. We have received the Swamp Spear and 150 gold. There's also little RimWorld style events that pop up on turns. They can be good, they can be bad. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know if I want those Oathbound, but I'll take those Oathbound. I also need to go back to my main city, and I need to keep the garrison growing over here. There we go. Keep the garrison growing, at least so I can get my units back from over on that side. We probably want to put a rally point over here. The rally point's kind of an important building because it allows me to build units right here from any city that I control, which means that you need the rally point for this to be a tip of the spear sort of forward operating base for your faction. It's going to be very important. You're going to want to do that. Let's upgrade that to the next level up. And so that's now giving us 300 gold. I think our gold issues are coming to a close right now. We are going to need to find access to some Glimmerweave. A savage Rana. Aurelia was right to utter the commandment of Rana's annihilation. Rana raiders have appeared in lands causing havoc. A hostile army has appeared near your wielder. Will affect the kingdom and its forces. How tough are they? Oh, not that tough. They retreated instantly. Cool. 14 Oathbound. That's pretty huge. I'll take that. I don't think I can upgrade from here. I can grab a few more Plague Rats. The downside is if I want to upgrade these stacks, I'm either going to have the buildings here that will allow me to upgrade them, or I can just leave them as they are, and when they die, and then we replace them. It's totally up in the air what we want to do with it. A trade post would be nice. I'm not super invested in it, though. I don't care that much. I need to save up a little bit of wood. And in saving up a little bit of wood, we'll have some more options. I need to get a couple wizards and stuff in my army. Like, we're not going to be a wizardry-focused army. We're going to be mostly melee-focused due to our bonuses. But how tough are these guys? A simple fight? Let's just quick battle it. Wow, 17 rats lost. I didn't expect that. That's fine. Nice. A wisdom of the ancients are buried in the deep. Good. We could always use more XP. Let's get an extra movement in there just to help us move around the map a little faster. We'll quick battle this guy too, because anytime it says like simple or easy fight, I usually don't even bother. That was actually a little more costly than I expected. That's fair. Okay, maybe I should auto battle, or I'm sorry, manual battle some of the simples out here. I'm used to simple battling with a different faction, and these guys are actually a little bit more fragile. There is equipment. Your character does have a stat sheet. Your character does have things that they can equip, and in equipping those things, it will give some total bonuses to your army that just make them better and more effective. We probably want to get some units down here, I would think. But let me clear out this area real fast. So the book, it actually just boosted all of our stats. I'll take that. The heavy lid slides open and we get 5 ancient amber. That'll be nice for upgrades too. Let's see if we can get back to town though. I've got like purchases that I need to make over here. I also need to go back over here and pick up my army from that side. I got a bunch of units like guarding that place for the bat cap, but I would like to have them over here. Spoils of War. Winning battle after battle paid off. Gathering the spoils and the pieces from battlefields have netted you a sum of gold. Good. What can I buy? Give me some more rats to replace what I lost. I think we also wanted to use this medium plot right here in order to make an Aurelian Sanctum. That'll give us some wizards that can do magic spells on the enemies and kind of knock them out at a range. I'm a little bit nervous about running all the way back over here to pick up the troops that are available, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. If we get back capped, we get back capped, I guess. On the way back, I did want to check inside this little nook here too. This is a fair fight, huh? So many Fists of Order and several Queen's Guards. Might get a little hairy, but I would say let's go for it. Yeah, they've got some weighty units in here. They've got some units with some heft to them. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do. I'm going to put the zombies out front as a sacrificial unit and just kind of like wait and see what the enemy does. We'll move him up to there. They can move out to there. Okay. Let's go ahead and pinch that on that side. Pinch that on that side so that we have a shield wall bonus. There's not a lot for my rats to do right now. This is kind of a cramped battlefield, but we want to deny them the high ground as much as possible. Like, we want to sort of like force them to come to us. We actually held up okay on the first round. I was a little bit worried we were going to fold like a cheap blanket, but we're not doing too bad. I'm conflicted about whether or not I just want to one-shot them to get them off the field. These Legionnaires are great, man. I like them a lot. Ah, we didn't secure the kill right there. My rats in the back. What can I do here? What's their defense? Pretty good. Let's break their defense. And then we'll increase our defense. But this could be a costly battle. I think let's make them ineffective. Move up around the back. The more dead enemies we have, the better, because they lose attack power for every unit that leaves that stack. But this was quite a gnarlier battle. This one right here could be an army breaker if you didn't play it right. Down they go. We're going to have to combine some stacks in order to get this whole thing working, but I think breaking their defense was probably the best thing we could have possibly done right there, because it allowed us to deal like an extra 20% damage to him during that fight. Plus, it allowed us to clinch yet another level, which I'll probably just use for another troop stack, even though we're not quite there yet. Oh, cool. We've got one of the beacons of power. Very nice. Okay, so that's one of the victory conditions right there. We don't have all the beacons of power yet, but we have some of the beacons of power. I could use the gold down there, but I don't know if I want to walk that far to go fight some wolves. I'll probably make like a second hero pretty soon, and they can like back clean up on all that stuff. Everyone remembers the anniversary day long ago when Empress Aurelia died. Folk visit shrines of Aurelia and leave flowers and other offerings hoping for her blessing. We gain defense, we gain spell damage defense, but we lose gold for 2 turns, so we've got lower gold ticks for a little while. That's okay. I'm not planning on doing anything for a couple of turns anyways. Do I have an extra building spot over here? If I have an extra building spot over here, give me... You know, give me another crypt for Oathbounds. I want this place to generate a lot of skeletons for me. That doesn't have any further upgrades. We could upgrade the excavation over here, though. We're not, like, hurting too much at the moment. I love the way the buildings get cooler and more sophisticated as you add them on in, too. You can buy walls, too, that the enemy will have to get through at some point. I never picked up that stone mine down there. I should probably start considering that. I don't want to draft anybody just yet, though, because I'm going to do it from the rally point over here. So back at the rally point, we now have a pretty solid batch of critters that we can purchase. I think for sure we want to get our plague rats and keep that stack getting bigger. I'm okay with picking up some cultists. I'll pick those guys up just to flesh out my stack over here. We'll add in some of these wraith dudes too. And then I think I need to upgrade some of these buildings before I can get wizards and stuff. I need 5 celestial ore for wizards. Let's go ahead and do that. When you get large building slots like this one over here, these large building slots can be turned into research centers or other cool, like, epic units, basically. You can get a summoning circle, which gives us a legion, apparently. Or we can get the Library of Aurelia. The Library of Aurelia will allow us to research upgrades for our units to increase their HP, their damage, things of that nature that tend to get the crowd going. I would say we're a little low on wood. Let's call that a timber mill right there. That sounds alright to me. Our troop stacks are looking a little better right now. Our zombies are a little bit smushed, though. Maybe we'll travel down this way and see what trouble we can get into. How tough are they? They're a simple fight, and those guys are a fair fight. Alright, let's take the simple fight real quick. Simple fight, it looks like it's a whole bunch of brood crawlers, and that's about it. Let's manual battle it, but I don't really have any complaints about this game. They're working on balance and getting the game kind of tuned up so that every faction is able to throw down to the same extent. I mean, there's a load of gameplay here. Loads and loads and loads of gameplay. Even if you break it down to its bare, simple, like, nuptials, I guess. I don't know if that's the word that I'm looking for. If you break it down to bare basics, this game, every army plays like 3 ways: ranged, magic, and melee, and they all kind of do it in interesting ways. And so there's 3 playthroughs for each faction. There's 3 factions as of right now, and that's disregarding like getting upgrades and things of that nature, and like what tech trees you choose, what stuff you choose to boost up, whether you focus on playing with a lot of magic or anything else. That zombie stack's kind of useless. I guess flank around. It's only 1 or 2 kills right there. What can I do over here? Do they have high defense or something? They have decent defense. It's not like incredible. Let's go protection on these guys for right now. We'll boost up his offense, too. It didn't really help altogether that much, but it helped a little bit. If it keeps the stack alive, I'm okay with it. These guys come down here, get on the crawlers. Nice kill. Nice kill. Zombie kind of useless in this stack right now. I need to start, like, getting my zombies up and moving. And there it is, surround and pound. They've been finished off. But Songs of Conquest, I highly recommend it. This game is a phenomenal work of art. It deserves like the 9 out of 10 that it's got on Steam right now. It's a really good game. Oh look, 4 more zombies. Yay. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. That's about all I got for you for right now. I'll be back tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet. But up until then, it's time for me to dip on out. Take care, folks, and that's about all I've got for you. Bye-bye.